Good day, my name is Terry Difazio and you're watching Dial It Up. Today on our show, we have 4 members of Pride Fitness Performance from Derby, Vermont. We have Paula Brennan, massage therapist and body sculptor, Kimberly Sweat, who's a power lifter and a teacher, Dane Martin, a performance coach, and Tyler Tinker is gym owner, strength and conditioning specialist. It's good to have you on the show.
Good to be here.
Okay, I'll start with, and you guys can answer randomly, but I'd like to know from each of you, how long have you been doing this? Go ahead, Dane.
Like as a performance coach?
Yeah.
Well, I started back in August with Tyler. Before that, it had been a couple of years since I had worked in a gym setting again, but I was a personal trainer in Littleton, New Hampshire.
Oh.
Several years ago.
Is that the gym that's in that little plaza on the side?
That is a little gym, yes.
Yeah, I went by it and I didn't get that good of a look at it. It looked like it had a lot of cardio equipment in it.
But in between then, I've competed in CrossFit, bodybuilding, been a lot around with that. So.
Okay. Did you ever do Olympic lifting?
I'm certified in Olympic lifting.
Oh.
I've never competed in Olympic lifting, but
that's a tough sport.
it is a very tough sport.
Yeah.
Very technical.
Oh yes. Some of my favorite lifters are from the past, like David Reichert.
Yep.
And guys like that. Incredible. And Kimberly, tell us about yourself. You've been a power lifter and a teacher.
I've been working out now for a little over 4 years.
Okay.
And just became aware of powerlifting last September.
Okay. And Paula?
I've been doing this for off and on for probably 20 plus years. Not seriously, I've always looked up to bodybuilders. I definitely I'm a runner as well. So kind of got bit by the running bug for a while and then decided to start lifting again seriously.
And Tyler, how long have you been doing this?
I'm going on my 6th year now, coaching as a strength and conditioning coach.
Okay.
Just been into fitness probably since going on about 10 years now, since about late high school.
Now, with each of you, I'll start with you, Tyler. Does anybody specifically inspire you to do what you're doing?
I would say there's 2 things that really got me going in the kind of the fitness realm. One's sitting right there.
Okay.
Started just back in high school, just old school, lifting weights. And the other thing we talked about a little bit was professional wrestling a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So one with kind of like a goal, and then the other one just a friend to kind of get you going and introduce you to something and just kind of accelerate your passions.
Now, in professional wrestling, have you noticed the body, the guys who are into this, their bodies are a lot better than they used to be?
Sure.
They're in better condition than they used to be. Have you noticed that?
Sure. Well, let's just go over the years of how health has changed, and people are much more knowledgeable and aware of of health in general.
Okay. Yes. And how about yourself, Paula? Anybody specifically? We talked earlier before the show, and you named some really incredible
I guess if I was to
ladies.
say someone that I looked up to, it would probably be maybe Corey Everson or Rachel McLeish. Female bodybuilders from many years back, but beautiful, classic physiques.
Yeah, the 1980s, I believe, wasn't
Yes.
it? Yeah. I'm familiar with both of those ladies. They were rather, I would say, not just well developed, but beautiful women also.
Right, exactly.
And Kimberly, how about yourself?
I'm really new to powerlifting. I'm doing a lot of reading and research on my own. I don't really have anyone that I look up. If I had to pick people that I look up to, it would be my coaches.
Okay. And how about you, Dane?
Kind of a mixture of events and people, I guess. I tore my ACL playing football. when I was younger, and when I started the rehab process, the physical therapist told me the best brace for my knee would be my muscles.
Yeah.
So that really kind of got me into lifting. And then as far as the bodybuilding aspect of it would be, I guess, your typical Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course, but also Ronnie Coleman.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw a picture of him when I was like 13 years old. I got something in the mail randomly, and it had Ronnie Coleman on it. And I was just like, yeah.
Just a little guy.
That was
huh?
just like, I don't know, that was just it. I don't know. He was doing shrugs with like 700 pounds, and I was just like, yep, sold.
Yeah. Yeah, I can tell you what he eats too.
Yeah.
Anything he wants.
Yeah, everything.
So, Dane, what is your ultimate goal?
My ultimate goal, I have too many of them.
Okay.
Tyler kind of gets on me because I'm like, oh, I want my squat to be this, I want my bench to be this, I want my clean here, I want my snatch here, I want to be able to do this many muscle ups, and it's just like all very contrasting ideas as far as the fitness realm goes. So you can't be a bodybuilder, a power lifter, and an Olympic lifter, and good CrossFitter and be like, good at all of it.
Well, you could be like a decathlete. You could be a little bit good at each,
Yeah.
or you could use these others to help you with one specific. For example, you guys know this, a lot of bodybuilders use powerlifting,
Yeah.
which is quite common. I don't know how many use Olympic lifting, but I know that they do. They do, because in my experience, Olympic lifting is dangerous.
Yeah, it's
Very, very dangerous. You got to know what you're doing,
There's a
or
lot
you
that can
really
go
get hurt.
wrong.
Or as Jeff Foxworthy someone said, you could get seriously killed.
yeah.
So, how about you, Kimberly? What is your ultimate goal?
For right now, my ultimate goal, I'd like to deadlift 500 pounds raw, squat 300, and bench press 250.
Hey, I bet that's all within your reach too.
We'll
Now,
see.
I've only been to one powerlifting meet, and that was many years ago. But I noticed, that especially for bench pressing, people are using all sorts of, I don't know what you call them, some types of shirts that really compress you. What, I'm not exactly sure what that is either. But these guys were walking around and women were walking around like this because these shirts were so tight. When they would bench press, it would be like ultra support. Do you know what that is?
I don't.
No, that's like the suited or like non-raw type of competition. So you wear like a bench shirt, or when they squat, they have a squat suit.
Right.
So it kind of puts you into like an extreme compression and forces you into that position. And I mean, a guy with a bench shirt can easily add 100, 200 pounds to his bench just by putting the shirt on.
Oh, okay, that's what that was. Because I know, I looked at it, I said, I could never do that. It sucked all the air out of me.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
They're skin tight. You guys will take them off and you'll be bruised.
It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
difficult to put
Yeah.
on and off. Like I've never been in one, but I've put an athlete in and out of one, and it's like that's a process
Yeah,
itself.
yeah. I don't think I could actually even put one on. I think it would bother me way too much. And how about you, Paula? What is your ultimate goal?
I guess to improve at each show that I compete in. This is definitely not my last show. I just want to do better each time and hopefully be first at one point.
Yeah, because now you're not doing bodybuilding. You're doing body sculpting, correct?
I'm doing figure.
Figure. Okay.
I may transition into either bodybuilding or physique if the muscle continues to come on like I like it to.
Okay. And how about yourself, Tyler?
Well, I guess from a personal or a professional goal, a personal goal is just to each year just continue to improve my health in some form, whether it's kind of like Dane, where we're interested in so many different realms, so many different avenues of fitness, whether it's mobility or strength training or gymnastics. Right now, I'm kind of in a gymnastic bug that I've caught a little bit, so I'm doing some things to just try to enhance what I'm already kind of good at, but take it to the next level. I'm wrestling at kind of more of a part-time basis right now, so working on things that just kind of heal my body. Mobility is really huge for that. Just as a professional goal, obviously, to keep expanding to what we're doing, keep helping people, just trying to help people reach their own goals.
Yeah, and you said you were getting more into wrestling.
Well, I'm doing that more part-time now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a little less.
Could I ask you? This wasn't on this sheet, but I just thought of it.
Sure, I like improv.
What do you think of all the injuries that are happening in professional wrestling
Right now,
Yeah.
they're working too much.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They got them. There's no off season professional wrestling. Professional wrestling is not a sport; it's entertainment, right?
Right.
But there's no
Yeah.
off season. They're on the road 300 days a year. They're responsible for their own travel, their meals, everything. And so they don't get after WrestleMania, you know, their Super Bowl. They don't have 2 months off. Where I mean, some of the bigger names have that luxury. Or even some bigger names like The Undertaker, who wrestles once or twice a year. But all the other guys, they're wrestling 5 to 6 times a week, and there you go. I mean, you can't. The style now is so much more aggressive and more of an athletic, faster pace that it's just, you know, you can't fight nature. Injuries are going to happen.
And the risks that are involved with it, because some of the moves that they're trying now
Sure.
didn't happen 30 years ago. You know, it just didn't happen. Just to point out one thing, I had the former professional wrestler Paul Vachon here
Sure.
a couple of times, a very fine gentleman, and I showed him a video clip of Big Show and Brock Lesnar doing a superplex.
Off the ring when it broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He couldn't even believe it.
Yeah.
He said, we would never even think of something like that.
Right.
But it's like you said, you can't cheat. You can only cheat nature so much,
Right.
and then eventually the body just
Sure.
gives out. Because I would say half of the roster is probably uninjured reserve.
They have a lot of their top guys right now that are out of competition, and it's just, you know, part of that is just because they're overworked.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need. What they should do is, you know, guys are going to get hurt regardless, so they should just cycle, you know, one top performer that they have a month or two off, and kind of, you know, stagger them so that way that all their big stars are off at one time.
Yeah. They have. I can name a couple of big ones that. Well, of course, Daniel Bryant just retired because of concussions.
John Cena,
And Cena's out.
rotator cuff.
Yeah, and you've got
Randy Orton.
Cesaro, Randy Orton, and I think Cesaro's great.
Yep.
I think the guy can speak 5 languages.
Yep.
Amazing. I have trouble enough with one.
Yeah.
So, can you guys explain to me the difference between a split system of training, double split, and how many of you use it?
Start off with that one.
Yeah, we'll start off
I
with
can
Dan.
talk wrestling all day.
I know.
What do you mean a split system?
You like this question? You asked that to me.
Yeah. In other words, you do different body parts, different
Oh,
days.
what, like training split specifically?
Yeah.
I have me personally, I have an incredibly weird training split. One day I'll work, I'll do an Olympic style day. Next I'll do a 5x5 with deadlifts, but I mean, it's changing every day. I never train anything back to back.
Right.
I'll have, like, Monday is typically my chest day. It's typically low reps. Tuesday is typically like a leg day. If I'm going to do a front squat, I'll usually do cleans with it. And so if I'm going to do a front squat, I'll typically do cleans. Another day I'll do a back squat, variations with that. So I try to keep it, I change it every day, but it's kind of, I would say, more of a bodybuilding, old school bodybuilding type split.
Yeah, because way back in the dark ages, back say in the 50s even, okay, the training method back then was you train the whole body 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
And then somebody got the idea, said, hey, if we go to a split system, I can get in more and actually develop more.
Right.
So how long have you been using a split system?
Oh God, since I've started lifting, I guess. Whatever I could pick up from any book I read or any magazine before I really started kind of focusing on it specifically. But, you know, I would look up and see what Arnold did, and he was infamous for, like, you know, crazy chest and back day, supersetted together. So it's like awesome, like double the pump, you know. So let's try it. So,
Yes. What do they call them? Supersets, trisets,
Yep.
quad sets.
giant sets.
I
Yep.
don't know what else they could call them after that. Animal sets, I have no idea. How about yourself, Kimberly? Do you use a split system?
Pretty much, yeah. I train once a week with Dane on deadlifting or squatting or bench pressing, and then work out with Tyler the rest of the week.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that?
Well, I've been with Pride since it opened, and before that it was with Ben's Boot Camp Fortitude Fitness Systems
Okay.
for 2 years.
Okay. And how about yourself, Paula?
I do follow a training split. It's pretty much 4 days, and I break the body up into different days, not including my day off. And then we also do a muscle hour, which is more of a powerlifting that I do with Dane on Wednesday evenings. And then I also train with Tyler 1 day a week as well.
Okay. And how about yourself, Tyler?
So my lifting days, weightlifting days, are actually on a Monday, usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday split. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do something more mobility or gymnastic related. So,
Because part of the key here, as you guys all know, is to maintain some sort of flexibility.
sure.
For years, bodybuilders did nothing but lift weights, and they found out that that's what their body adapted to, was to just lifting, and then they decided to start running, and they started doing different things. But do you guys know of a old Russian weightlifter named Vasily Alexeyev? He was a super heavyweight champion for about 8 years. Nobody could touch him. He was a super heavyweight. He weighed about 360 pounds. He could beat everybody on the Russian weightlifting team in ping pong. He was so fast
Yeah.
from Olympic lifting.
Yeah.
That,
It's that quick twitch.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Reaction time.
Oh, definitely. And I can't say as I ever saw it, but I wish I had.
Yeah.
But I meant,
Be a sight to see.
guys that were much smaller
Yeah.
and much quicker, they couldn't compete with him even in ping
Sure.
pong. Can you, do you guys have specific diets that you follow? Go ahead, Dane.
It's like the worst person to ask. I don't want to say I do, but I mean, I just try to follow. I really just stick to high protein. I kind of eat to where I want to be. I don't worry about carbs. Like, I'm not like a carb is the enemy kind of guy. I'm the person that's always just like, I want to be bigger, I want to be stronger, so I'm always just trying to eat to gain. But as far as really being specific, I don't typically worry about what I eat. The last time I competed, I think I got really burnt out because I was so strict with my diet. The last time I was getting ready for a bodybuilding competition, I was so strict. I was eating like chicken and green beans or fish and green beans at like 7 in the morning for breakfast because I was like just so strict, so strict about it.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
too.
so I think I got like burnt out on it, and I'm not back to like being like mentally prepared to do that again.
Yeah, and some of your more professional bodybuilders, that's what they would eat.
Yeah.
Because they're on what they call maybe you can explain this to a bulk and cut diet. You eat a specific way to bulk up and a specific way to cut.
That's kind of old school method in itself. Nowadays, I mean, you'd see back in the day where guys like Lee Priest, I don't know if you ever heard of him.
That one I haven't heard of.
He's a great bodybuilder, little unorthodox in his ways, but he would be known to he would just mow cheeseburgers in the off season. He would be 300 plus pounds in the off season, and his stage weight would be like 220, just over 200 pounds, shredded. But I mean, you gain that much and you shred that much, you're not going to lose just fat, so you're losing muscle too. So
Yes.
now bodybuilders are staying to a point where they can be stage ready within 12 weeks or 10 weeks instead of prepping for 16 plus weeks out for a show.
Right.
So
Yeah, and that is important too, because if you go try to get too lean too fast, you'll definitely you'll burn out. You'll
Exactly.
get very, very, very tired. Of course, zero carb diets are a pain.
Yeah.
I know, I've been on them. They're hard. They're hard. No fun at all. No. How about yourself, Kimberly? Anything special about your diet?
Well, right now I'm involved in a challenge that's going on at Pride Fitness Performance. 1 week we eat strict, fewer carbs, and then this is an eat to perform week, so more starches and carbs on days I work out.
Okay. How about yourself, Paul?
I'm following the typical bodybuilding diet right now. I'm 3 weeks out from the show, so it's very clean, sticking to protein, complex carbs, half a cup 3 times a day with my green veggies, and a couple protein shakes in order to get all my nutrients in.
Yeah, and I want to talk about your contest that's coming up too, because I think that's very important, and I think it's great that you're doing this. And how about yourself, Tyler?
I eat like an athlete. It's just on days where I need more fuel in the tank, I put more fuel in the tank. It's pretty simple as that. Other than that, I eat about the same 9 or 10 foods every week. So I go to the grocery store, it's like I always buy the same thing. It's very, very clean eating. That's definitely in the last few years, I've just realized how much of a difference nutrition does play, not only just for aesthetics, but for athletics, and then just your energy levels.
Well, there's no doubt about that, because it's the old saying, junk in, junk out.
Yes.
Exactly.
You know, how much typically for each of you? I'll start with you, Tyler.
Sure.
About how much protein do you take in, and for a person who is athletic and doing stuff like this, how much should they be taking in? Because one of the old rules was, I mean, if you're, for example, in the days of Arnold Schwarzenegger, or my favorite, Franco Columbu. By the way, I got to meet Franco Columbu.
Yeah.
and then Mike Katz and I think Lou Ferrigno once.
Sure.
But back then it was 2 grams per weight.
Yeah.
Per pound body weight.
Yep.
Does that hold true for you?
Pretty close. I mean, I eat around, I would say, 4,000 calories on a hard training day. So if you divide those up in your macronutrients, you got carbs, fats, and protein, at least 25% of that. So that's about 1,000 calories or 250 grams of protein is coming in from that. So it seems like a lot, but I mean, when you're working, when you're an athlete, you need it more, just not only for muscle building purposes, but for recovery, for your immune system, for cellular repair. So it's, I would say, at least 200, 250 grams a day.
How about yourself?
I'm obviously lower than that. I think I'm 1 to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. So 4 to 6 ounces, 4 to 5 times a day is my protein. Carbs, I think I'm at just slightly under 200 grams of carbs a day and 50 grams of fat, approximately. I don't always hit those macros, but I really try to.
And it's got to be tough with the contest coming up, huh?
Yeah, because then you have to really start cutting out any extras, dairy, nut butters, or trying to think what else I'm off right now.
Probably not on many breads.
Oh gosh, no. No, I haven't had bread. I don't eat bread. I'm not a big carb. That's not my carb of choice. So.
Okay, how about yourself, Kimberly?
Like Paula said, about 4 to 6 ounces of protein with each meal.
Okay.
4 or 5 times a day.
And Dane?
I'm about where Tyler's at. I stick around 200 plus grams of protein a day.
I've got a question for Paula and Kimberly. Pre-contest, how does your diet change?
Like where I am right now,
Yeah, a couple weeks out.
it's very, very strict. In fact, on days that are more of a rest day where I don't do lifting or cardio, I'm starting to cut back on no carbs, very, very few carbs, just to lean out a little bit more.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you, Kimberly?
The last time I did before meet was the first time I'd ever done it, and I was told, just let's see what you can do. So I don't know if this time it will look different as we get closer. My next meet is April 2nd. So
That was going to be one of my questions here, but I may ask you again.
okay.
Do you guys take any specific supplements? For example, I have a protein mix that I do, plus I take creatine. Anything specific like that you guys take? Go ahead, Tyler.
I don't take any creatine right now. I have before: creatine, glutamine, taurine, basic things like that. Other than protein, shakes, and amino acids, that's all I take in food.
How about you, Paula?
I do protein as well. I'm doing creatine, but I'm going to start taking that out. I do use the aminos, and I use those year-round. I don't stop taking those. And, my BCAAs. That's about it.
I love BCAAs. For you viewers out there, branched chain amino acids. I told somebody that they bought a protein thing, and I said,
Can you name the 3? I named them for you last time.
no, I probably can't. If it was brain chemistry, I could probably do it, but not this. I said to them, they had this tub of protein. I said, oh, good, you got BCAAs. Huh? Well, guess what? They're surging through your blood now. How about you, Kimberly?
Protein shakes and creatine.
Okay, and Dane?
Nothing fancy. Aminos, protein, and that's about it. Creatine, that's it.
And there's a plethora of products out there, and you have to
So much.
pretty much figure out what's BS and what's
80% of it's probably BS.
good. Yeah.
If it's too fancy, it doesn't work. There's nothing fancy. Like if you're paying $60, $70 for a thing of creatine monohydrate, you're getting ripped off.
There's no miracle supplement.
Yeah, there's no miracle drug.
The only miracle supplement is hard work.
That's right.
I think the one I use is called Creaplex.
Okay.
That's the one I use, and I think I have 2 little things of it twice a day. And it isn't very expensive. I think it's like $10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be.
And some of these other ones are basically like named. There's a couple of them out there. One is called Arnold, and you know darn well you're paying for the name.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
But it works.
$60
Yeah.
for something like that
Yeah.
seems to be kind of,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Kimberly and Paula this. First of all, Kimberly, what are your best totals so far?
So far, my last meet, my deadlift was 352 pounds.
Nice.
My squat was 259, and my bench press was 121 pounds.
Very good. And when is your next meet?
April 2nd.
April 2nd. And where is it going to be held?
It's going to be at CrossFit Burlington.
Oh, in
South
Burlington.
Burlington, yeah.
Okay. And whereabouts in Burlington is? I know I've seen the place.
It's off the Shelburne Road.
Okay. Do they have like a rock climbing thing there too?
I don't think so.
don't think not that one.
That's a different place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not sure what this one is. And what is it? A daytime, nighttime thing?
It was an afternoon. It was,
Okay.
yeah.
It'll be an
Starts-
afternoon one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Starts at 4.
And how about yourself, Paula?
What has been my best?
What has been, for example, you've been in many contests, correct?
No, this is my second show.
Oh, okay. So you've been in one before?
Yes,
Okay. And where was that one?
Burlington.
Okay.
That was an NPC show.
Okay.
I'm joining a different federation this time. They encourage it is a natural bodybuilding federation. Have to take a polygraph test, and if I don't do well in the polygraph, then they do further testing, which I don't take anything, so it's no big deal. But
What's the name of that federation?
WNBF
WNBF.
or
Okay.
the OCB, they're both kind of one and the same right now.
Okay. So that other one was in Burlington, and your next contest is when?
Brattleboro, and it's March 13th.
And where in Brattleboro is that contest?
It's at the
gonna be?
Latches Theater.
Oh, I know where that is. Yeah, right downtown.
Yep.
Yes. So, about how many people compete in these things?
It varies.
It depends on the class and
Yeah, there's a million classes. Every organization or federation is different. With like the introduction of like men's physique and women's bikini classes over like the last like 5 years, the sport's like doubled in contestant size. So with those two classes, it's really grown.
Well, our time is just about up. Do you guys have any bits of information or advice you'd like to give our audience? Because I think this is absolutely fantastic what you guys are doing, and I'm hoping that you'll all come back on the show again sometime.
Sure.
So anything you want to tell our audience?
I'll just say something. I mean, no matter what kind of goal or interest you're trying to pursue out there, I mean, don't think that you have to be like someone else. You know, there's always like, take it from me with the wrestling, bodybuilding, powerlifting, CrossFit, you know, you can find your own kind of niche within this whole fitness realm. You know, first when you hear the word fitness or exercise, you kind of get this cookie cutter image in your head. But from that, there's so many different dimensions of it where you can kind of taper into your own interest, your own strengths, and then from there just take it, and it's limitless what you can do with it.
Very good. I want to thank you all for being here, and like I said, I'm hoping that we will do this again.
Sure.
This is Terry Difazio for Dial It Up. We'll catch you on the flip side. Have a great day.